Hi everyone, welcome back to Bypass Carnivore. My name's Diane. Just want to thank you for being here. If you're new here, welcome to my channel. And for those that are returning, hello again. I wanted to say a quick thank you to all of you who have subscribed to my channel. I really appreciate you, I really do. I just wanted to take a minute to tell you how much I appreciate that. It gives me the sense that you are watching, and it kind of keeps me accountable. So uh keeps me from straying, you know. I've really found that helpful, and I do appreciate that, so thank you. If you haven't hit the thumbs up button, please do. I did make notes today because I realized my videos seem to always be so long and so unorganized, and um, so I made some notes, and hopefully we'll get through this much better today. So I wanted to talk first of all and let you know what's going on. I am still walking every day. I haven't videoed it every day. The last time I did a walking video, it was actually the day um, I went down to the park and interviewed my son and his bride, Bethany. Um, Coming up that hill, it's a pretty steep hill for me because I've been very immobile for a while. And so on the way up, I started to feel some pain in my right ankle. Um, it took me quite a while to get up there. I did have the help of my son. He was very gracious to give me his arm and help keep me going. But I've had 3 surgeries on my right foot, 2 on my left. It was hurting, but I still was walking, fairly decently after we got to the top. And afterwards, I had a couple of places to go with Jason and Bethany, and then they wanted to take me out to eat. This is kind of funny. They were like, "Mom, I want to take you out to eat," and I'm like, "Well, now I only eat meat." I'm not sure where we can go around here because it's a lot of fast food stuff. And they're like, "No, no, we're going to take you to Mission Barbecue. You can get just meat, only meat." And I'm like, "Okay." So we went to Mission Barbecue. So I thought that was really sweet of them. Um, After I did get home, driving home, when your body aches, sometimes when you've been stressing certain parts of your body, and then you sit down, and then you go to get back up again, you really feel it. It just like, you don't notice it while you're sitting until you stand up. That's kind of what happened. So by the time I drove back home that day, I barely made it back into my house. I mean, I seriously had a really difficult time. My ankle hurt so bad. So I did not go to the park the next day. I actually didn't think I was going to be um, able to do anything the next day. I was surprised that it actually didn't feel that bad. It really didn't. And that took me by surprise because in the past, that would have put me down for a couple of days. But it didn't. So I thought about going to the park, but then I was like, well, that pathway, even if I don't go down the hill, if I just stay on the even pathway, it's covered in gravel. And because I've had those surgeries and because that ankle's weak, I just didn't feel like I was ready to go back out there again. So what I've done is I started walking around the mobile home park here. And I wasn't sure how it was going to go because it's got a couple of hills too. If you leave my house and make a right or make a left, you go down a really big hill. And then you go around and then come in behind my house, keep on going, and then you come up a smaller. It's not as a rough incline. It's kind of more, comes up gradually, more gradually. So, um, and then you make a left and you're back at my house again eventually. So that's what I decided to do. The first day I did it, well, the day after that interview, it would have been okay, except when I left the house here and went down the big hill, instead of staying on the concrete, there is a field to the right hand side of the road there, and a big field, and a lot of people in the park here, they take their dogs and whatnot over there to run around. And well, Holly's never been over there, but Emma used to go a lot. When I would walk around with my dad, we'd always run through that field and play and whatnot. And anyways, she hadn't been over there for a while, so I let her off the leash and she ran great big circles around the field. She had a blast. I did not let Holly off because Holly is, she doesn't listen very well. She doesn't come when I call her. She doesn't stop when I tell her to. She doesn't sit when I tell her to. She's just, I don't know what it is. I've never had a dog so stubborn in my life. I mean, I've had a lot of dogs, but this one has been really hard to train. Um, anyway, so I didn't let her off, but she had a good time too. Eventually, we did make it all the way around and back home again, and that wasn't too bad. But I will say, going down that hill, because as we were in the field, we were going down the hill. It was uneven ground, so that kind of, you know, I was trying to protect my ankle by not going to the park on the gravel, but then I went on the field over there, which is uneven. It was uncomfortable, but I made it through and it was fine. So I've been doing that ever since. Every morning before it gets too hot outside, I go and walk the dogs. So that's how that's been going. It's still going okay. Um, so I did for a couple of days. I don't know why. I think it was electrolytes. I think I needed electrolytes. I haven't been taking electrolytes, and I got just extremely tired. Like the one day I tried my best to stay up and I couldn't do it. I tried everything, but I just couldn't do it. And I did end up back in bed and took, oh my goodness, a nap. A normal person's nap is, maybe 20 minutes, an hour, half hour, whatever. No, when I take a nap, it's game on. I'm 2, 3, 4 hours. I don't remember how long I was in bed that day, but it messed up my whole sleep pattern there for a bit. But anyways, I just got extremely tired. And then I remembered, I think I told you guys that I had started trying to do carnivore about a year and a half, 2 years ago, when I first started learning about it, and I just kept falling off, mainly because of Mountain Dew. Um, so I remembered I had bought some keto chow, so I went and I found that, and I started taking it, and that has really helped. Took a couple of days to kick in, but it seemed to really, really help. Yesterday, I had to push myself, but oh my goodness, wait till you hear about yesterday. um, but today, when I woke up, I was a, I was a little tired even after I woke up, but not like the last couple of days. It was like nothing. I put a little bit of salt in my palm and put it on my tongue. Um, that helped. That helped a lot. And then, of course, I drank some water with some electrolyte in it, and I've been going ever since all day. So, yeah, so today's gone well. Um, let's see. So, what else did I do this week besides the walking around? Even though I was tired, I was pushing myself to keep going. Not the day I went back to bed because that was a wash, but the next day. Um, I started, after my walk, I started um, working around my house and weeding my flower gardens and stuff. I haven't done that in a long time. Not that that wasn't getting done. Thankfully, I have a very sweet brother in law who's been coming over pretty much ever since my dad passed, and he cuts my grass and does the weed whacking and that. And he is just such a sweetheart. Couldn't ask for a better brother in law. Um, anyway, so I got out there and I started weeding and taking care of it. And I'm um, trying to get it all, you know, looking the way I like it. So, and then, oh, so that's what I was going to say. So, I'll show you some pictures here in a minute, but if I have this back flower garden that on each side of the garden there is a Rose of Sharon bush, and then in the center it is a some type of hostas. I think it's a hostas. My mother used to call them a dinner plate because their blooms are real big. Um, I'll have to check on that. I can't remember. It's beautiful. Every year I wait for that thing to bloom. It's just so pretty. Um, so anyways, I noticed these bushes. The one on the left was the last time I pruned it and everything and cut it down. I shaped it so that the bottom was smaller and then it came out and bushed up. But the one on the right was like big, bushy, round. It didn't look right at all when I'm standing there looking at it like, oh my goodness, I got to do something about this. I got to clean this up. So I started to work on that, but by that time the bees were coming out because it was already getting hot. And man, do they like those bushes. I mean, I knew they liked them, but I never really just stood there long enough to pay attention how much they liked it. So I'm trying to cut this bush, and I had this great big one of those yellow and black, I guess you call them yellow jackets. At least that's what we used to call them. That thing got so mad at me. He just wasn't having it. He was like, "You are in my space. You need to go." So he started attacking my head. So I finally gave up. But that was fun. I still need to finish that. That was the day before yesterday. Uh, so yeah, you know what? Let me show you a picture of those. Isn't that bush pretty? That one in the middle. It is just, it's like my favorite. It's just so pretty. So after I came in, after the bee attack, I um, I came in and I still had energy, which I normally don't. I I I tried to weed a few months ago. I went out in the front and I was trying to weed. I wasn't even doing it that long, and when I stood up, man, uh, everything went really weird. All the sounds of the birds and everything disappeared, and I was starting to feel like I was gonna pass out, and just it was a crazy mess. And I wasn't even out there more than maybe 5-10 minutes. That was it. So to be able to do all that weeding in both flower gardens, and then started cutting that one bush, I was really pushing it, but I felt good. Um, that's all due to carnivore. Anyways, so when I got back in the house, I'm like, okay, I still feel like I've got energy. What do I do now? So, um, I need to sell my house. So and I need to get certain things done. Like, I need to go room to room and give them all good cleaning and everything. You know how it goes. But I didn't have any energy. I didn't have any um, drive to do it, even though I knew it needed done. I just, I was, I was just always exhausted, always, I don't know, I couldn't do it, even though I know it needs done. So I had all that energy that day, so I'm like, okay, well, I'm gonna get started, and I did. I cleaned a lot. I got a lot done. I didn't get everything done, but I was surprised how much I accomplished, and it just felt so good. So I want to continue getting that done. I'm going to work on that a little bit each day in the coming weeks because I really need to get this house sold. And I'm hoping uh, I'm not going to have a hard time selling it because, well, I live in an area. You might have seen it on the news. It made national news. It went everywhere. Um, I live about 7 miles from where the train derailed in East Palestine, Ohio. If you Google it, you'll find it. um, East Palestine's a really small town. It's where I usually do all my shopping and all my, you know, whatnots. That's where my dad originally had his home. Um, but people are wanting out of East Palestine because after the train derailed, it caught fire, and I'm sure you can look all this up. I think I even have some pictures I can throw in. Um, Even though, and I'm going to try and say this carefully, even though the EPA and all the whatever government agencies you want to talk about, they all say it's safe. They all say nothing to see here. Let's move along. No problem. Your water's safe. Your whatever. Your air's safe. There are still problems. I'm just going to put it that way. I'll give you one instance. In one day, we had like 6 kids that went home with nosebleeds, and that wasn't even that long ago. From they all had nosebleeds on the same day. Anyways, I think it was only 2 or 3 weeks ago that we had another fish kill. So, Norfolk, the Norfolk Train Company, to appease the people, they've decided to build this brand new park, which we don't need, with all the latest state-of-the-art stuff. And yes, it's going to be nice. Yes, it's going to be... But if you got sick people, who's going to enjoy it? Anyways, I digress. So going into the park, you have to cross over this small bridge. Well, they decided to remove the bridge and redo it. And when they did that, it irritated the land on each side of the stream bank. And it released more chemicals because it's in the land. I don't care what they say. I don't care what they're... Okay, I'm not going to go there. Anyways, we had another fish kill. So there are a lot of people in East Palestine that want out of East Palestine. But, these people have been there for years, for generations, some of them. So they don't really want to go far because this is where they're from. And so because I'm only 7 miles out, I don't think I'll have a problem selling this house. Yeah. I hope not anyways. So the train caught fire and then they did a chemical release. They did a chemical burn, which is that's depending on what side of the fence you want to be on. That's either a good or a bad thing. But anyhow, I am north of East Palestine, and most of those chemicals blew south that day. Um, there was, uh, towards evening, there was a moment or was a time when the wind did shift, and I knew when it shifted. I don't know if it's because I have emphysema and I'm more sensitive to smells and chemicals and, that kind of stuff. But I knew the moment it shifted because I was inhaling what I can only describe as like a pneumonia. It was nasty. It was like it was almost enough that you had trouble catching your breath almost there. For as a matter of fact, it was so irritating to me that, and I couldn't get away from it. It's in the air. Um, what I ended up doing is throwing on my CPAP and I went to bed. I just waited it out, and by morning it was fine. The wind had shifted again. So yeah, there's that. Anyhow, so I want to finish up this house. I'm going to be working on that to get it done and try to get this thing sold. So where are we? Oh, I hope this video is not getting long again. So let's talk about yesterday real quick. There's so much more I want to talk about, but I don't think I'm going to get it done. Yesterday, I want to talk about yesterday because yesterday was amazing. I had so much energy. Normally, before doing strict carnivore, I would maybe go to one or two stores and then I'd be done for a couple of days. I would be so wiped out. I mean, just literally wiped out. Yesterday, I went to my sister's first and spent some time there visiting. And then from there, I hit 3 different stores, drove back home, dropped off the stuff that I had, remembered that I forgot something, drove all the way back out to the main shopping area, and I was looking for a tripod to put my cell phone on to do these videos. So I ended up, even though I Googled and they all said they had them, I went to 6 different stores. It was insane. I finally went back to the first store I was at, which was Walmart, and I picked up this little tripod, which I really do like. I actually like it. It seems to be working well. But that was a lot for me. To be gone all day like that was just incredible. It was just incredible. And the other thing I noticed while I was doing it, and I don't think I've ever mentioned this yet before, but when I do go to the store, I don't know if I guess it would be a stamina thing. I can't stand upright and walk through a store. I can't do it. I have to hang on to the buggy, and I actually kind of lean forward on the buggy. Like I'm leaning on that buggy to keep me upright to go get through a store, which is another reason why I get so tired so quickly. After I got home yesterday, I realized I didn't do that, not one time. I was just walking. I was like, oh my gosh, I actually walked all them stores. I was tired when I got home. Oh my goodness, was I ever? But I made it. I couldn't believe that I did that. Hadn't done that in, I can't even tell you when. But the pain of trying to walk through a store was so excruciating. I can't even explain how bad it was. And yet, yesterday I did all of that and there was nothing. I was so shocked. So, that was yesterday. I was so happy with that. today I got up. I did have a problem with the little tripod. There was a piece missing, so I took the dogs for a walk, ran out back out to where I had got this, and got another one to replace it, and it's fine. Um, and everything's been good today. So there was a couple other things I wanted to talk about. But I'm afraid I'm making this video too long again. I'll throw some pictures up of the train derailment at the end. I don't want to stop here because I don't want to get off track here and make it longer. I do want to mention this. This morning when I went to Walmart to exchange this tripod, maybe you guys have some suggestions. Maybe you guys have been through this. First of all, you all know I had the gastric bypass. So even though it's been, what, 10, 11 years now? I don't even know. I have to look. I still can't eat large amounts, and so I've kind of curved my carnivore way of eating around, taking smaller portions a couple of times a day, and that seems to have worked fine for me. However, the other day when I made one video where I put the beef fat in the air fryer. I snacked on those. And I don't know if it was the amount of fat. I don't know what it was. I lost all appetite. And so, well, that other video would have been 3 days ago, because this is day 3. I haven't eaten. Well, I shouldn't say that. I'm getting to that. So I'm on day 3 and I hadn't eaten. Well, when I took the tripod back, I went all the way to the back of the store, got the tripod, and I was heading up front to pay for it, and I suddenly got really I kind of felt sick, but at the same time I felt nauseous. I felt like I wanted to pass out. I can't explain it. I felt weird. I knew something wasn't right. And the first thing that popped in my head is I need something to eat. I gotta have something. And I'm looking around at all this junk. And so I ran to the little deli. I was at Walmart. So I ran to the deli. I first ran to their fast food stuff there on the counter that they sell, and I'm like, no, that's breaded. This is nasty. This has got gravy. This is, whatever. I'm like, can't do that. So then I ran over to the deli, and there was like all these people there. And I'm like, I stood there for a minute, and I'm like, I'm not going to make it to my turn. So on the one side, there's a refrigerator portion that you can just reach in and grab some that's already prepackaged, a few slices of whatever. So I've been doing the BB&E challenge with Carnivore Quest, and I broke it today. I broke it because what I just grabbed the first thing that came to my hand because I needed something to put in my mouth. I think ended up being honey turkey slices, which is good, but not on the diet. I could have made a worse choice, but I didn't. I got the slices of turkey, grabbed a bottle of water, and I went through the checkout, got to my car, and I was shoving them things in my mouth. I think I ate 4 slices, and I was fine. I made it home, no problem after that. I'm guessing that has something to do with the gastric bypass. I've never fasted since having the gastric bypass. So... but I wasn't hungry. After eating those, and I've had those before, that beef fat. I've had that before. I don't know why I was reacting the way I did, but I just lost all appetite. And I'm not sure how good that is, being that, after having that, our bodies don't absorb nutrients the way they're supposed to. At least that's what I was told. Um, Maybe one of the doctors may see this and can tell me if I'm wrong or right. I don't know. That's what they told me. Our bodies don't absorb nutrients the same. So I don't know if it had something to do with that. I really don't know what happened. I took electrolytes this morning, and I even took a bottle of water with some electrolytes with me. So I don't know what the deal was with that. I think this video's gone too long, and I really wanted to talk about things I've noticed since starting the diet, but I'll wait and do that on another video. What I do want to do is weigh in. Is either my first or second video. I don't know. One of those videos I did, I said I didn't know how much I weighed because my scale only goes up to 300, and when you get to the 300, it's at 0 and starts over again. So when I would step on it, it would go past the 0, and so I really don't know what I started at as far as a starting weight. But I'm on day 15, I think, of being strict, and I have fasted, so I am kind of curious to see if I made it to the 300 mark. So we shall see together. I'll meet you back here in just a moment. Okay, guys. Moment of truth. Here we go. Oh, what is that? That's 290. Oh, I thought, oh, wow. All right. Well, wow. I honestly thought that I would be around the 300 mark. I didn't think it would be that good. I'm so surprised. I'm happy. Ah, man. Okay. So that's good. So I am going in the right direction. Sorry about this. Okay. That's true. The dogs are all excited because I got up and walked around. Now they're chasing each other. Wow, guys. So 290. I'm happy with that. I didn't expect that. Because honestly, I think I started around, if I'm not mistaken, I was around 320. And the only reason why I think that is because I think that's about what I was when I last went to the doctors. And it's been a little while, but I'm pretty sure that's about where I was at. So that's what, 20, it's 30 pounds? That can't be, not in 15 days. Well, let's just, wow. Okay, well, let's just do this. We'll say I started at 300 and I'm down 10 because I don't know how much over I was. I think I was 20 pounds over. I think I was at 320, but I'm back in the 200s. Oh my goodness. Guys, I hope as time goes on, I learn to do these videos much better. I hope that I'm able to speak more clearly like other people do on their videos and produce good content. I want to be able to help other people. I want to help other people because you guys have all helped me. I really appreciate all of you out there, and I'll talk to you on the next one.